Hi girls, can you watch my screen?
Hi, I see.
Yes.
I can watch.
Okay. So let's begin. Okay, let's start. Hello everyone. First of all, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought about how tourism can affect nature? Today, we are going to explore that idea. Hello, we are Group 8, and our team is made up of Valentina Pazmiño, Belinda Imbaquingo, and Naomi Cerón from Pusesi, and Sol Cortés, Estrella Hinojosa, and Camila Garcia from Anáhuac. We have worked in a collaborative way as an international team to develop this project, sharing ideas and perspectives from both countries. Today, we will present our project titled A Guide to Responsible Tourism.
In this project, we compare two tourist destinations from different countries, Cancun in Mexico and Cotopaxi National Park in Ecuador. Our objective is to analyze tourism in these places and understand how it can be both positive and harmful. Then we will focus on a common problem they share, over-tourism, and finally, we will present solutions for responsible tourism. Now, Belinda will introduce both places and explain their similarities and differences.
Thank you, Estrella. First, let's talk about the two destinations. Cancun, located in Mexico, is a coastal city known for mass tourism. On the other hand, Cotopaxi National Park in Ecuador is a protected natural area focused on ecological and adventure tourism. Even though they are very different, both places are very popular among tourists. Now, let's look at the similarities. Both Cancun and Cotopaxi are important tourist destinations. They both depend on tourism for economic benefits, and they both have valuable natural environments. However, there are also important differences. Cancun is a highly developed destination with hotels, resorts, and nightlife. In contrast, Cotopaxi is a natural area with less infrastructure and a stronger focus on nature. In addition, they have different climates, cultures, and types of tourism. Finally, working on this project help us understand how tourism is experienced differently depending on cultural and environmental context. Now Naomi will explain more about Cancun.
Thank you, Belinda. Now I will talk about Cancun. Cancun is one of the most visited tourist destinations in Latin America. It is famous for its white sand beaches, hotels, and nightlife, attracting millions of tourists every year. First, let's look at transportation. Tourists usually move around using public buses, taxis, and private transport. For example, buses are very affordable, costing around 50 cents to $1, while taxis are more expensive depending on the distance. Next, let's talk about culture. Cancun has a mix of Caribbean and Mexican culture. Tourists can enjoy traditional food, music, and festivals. However, tourism has influenced the local lifestyle in many ways. Finally, tourism has several positive effects. It creates many jobs opportunities, supports business like hotels or restaurants, and strengthens both the local and national economy. However, as we will see later, tourism also has negative effects. Now, Estrella and Sol will explain Cotopaxi.
Thank you, Naomi. Now we will talk about Cotopaxi National Park. Cotopaxi is a protected natural area in Ecuador, known from its volcano, beautiful landscapes, and rich biodiversity. It is one of the most iconic natural destinations in the country and attracts both national and international tourists. First, let's talk about transportation. Visitors usually travel by private car or guided tours, which are the most common and recommended options. These tours can cost between $20 and $50 depending on the service, the distance, and what is included in the experience. In addition, some tours include guides who explain the history, geography, and environmental importance of the park, which makes the visit more educational. However, public transportation is limited, so access is more controlled compared to other tourist destinations like cities. This can reduce overcrowding, but at the same time, it makes it less accessible for some visitors. Also, because it is a protected area, that are rules and the restrictions that visitors must follow to preserve the environment.
Next, let's look at culture. Cotopaxi reflects Andean culture, including local communities, traditions, and ways of life that haven't been preserved over time. People in this region have a strong connection with nature and see it as an essential part of their identity. For example, many local communities depends on agriculture and sustainable practice. In addition, their tradition, food, and customs are closely connected to the natural environment. Furthermore, this culture preservative encourage respect for nature, not only among locals but also amongst visitors. Now, let's talk about the positive effects of tourism. Tourism support local communities by creating job opportunities, especially for local guides, artisans, and small business. It also promotes environmental awareness because many visitors learn about conservation and the importance of protecting natural areas. In addition, tourists in Cotopaxi encourage sustainable practice, meaning that economic development can happen while protecting the environment. However, despite these benefits, tourism also creates challenges. Like Cancun, Cotopaxi is an effect by tourist pressure when too many visitors arrive. It can diminish hiking trails, affect wildlife, and harm fragile ecosystems. This shows that even protected natural areas are vulnerable and need responsibility to use. Now, Valentina will explain the common problem and possible solution.
Thank you. Now we will focus on the main problem over tourism. Over tourism occurs when too many visitors visit a place, causing environmental pressure and damage to natural resources. Even though Cancun and Cotopaxi are very different, they share this same problem. For example, in Cancun, coral reefs are being damaged because of pollution and tourist activities. Also, beaches suffer from erosion and there are high levels of waste. Similarly, in Cotopaxi, hiking trails are being affected because of excessive use. In addition, fragile ecosystems are affected and tourists often leave waste behind. This shows that tourism is not always positive and must be managed responsibly. For this reason, we propose some solutions. First, tourists should respect natural areas and wildlife. Second, they should reduce waste and use eco-friendly products. Also, it is important to follow local rules and support communities. In addition, tourists should avoid littering or leaving waste, damaging ecosystems or natural areas, ignoring local rules, and harming wildlife, because these actions can seriously affect the environment and put fragile ecosystems at risk. In conclusion, responsible tourism is necessary to protect these destinations. And finally, Camila will present our conclusion and reflection.
In conclusion, tourism can bring many benefits, such as economic growth, job opportunities, and cultural exchange between countries. It allows people to discover new places, tradition, and ways of life. However, if tourism is not well managed, it can also create serious environmental problems. As we have seen in Cancun and Cotopaxi, over-tourism can damage ecosystems, increase pollution, and put pressure on natural resources. Through this project, we learned that over-tourism is not just a local issue, but a global change that affect different types of destination around the world. We also understood the importance of responsible tourism, and how our action as travelers can make a real difference. Simple decisions such as respecting nature and reducing waste can help project these places for the future. And in addition, this project help us developing important skills such as teamwork and collaboration. We work together with the students from different contexts, sharing ideas and learning from each other. Moreover, this experience allow us to build an intercultural perspective by comparing two very different destinations. We understood that tourism is experienced in different ways depending on culture, environment, and lifestyle. And finally, we believe that being a responsible traveler means being aware, respectful, and commit the protecting the place we visit. Thank you very much for your attention, and hope you enjoy our presentation and learned something value from it. Thanks you.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to highlight this phrase over here. Sustainable tourism starts with you. And I think it's our slogan as a team because we care so much about both destinations that we select. And well, to end with, I would like to say a final words for us because we met each other and we spent really nice meetings. And yeah, I'm so proud of our work and I really like to meet you. It was a pleasure and it was a great project as well. What do you think, Sol?
I think that this project is a good opportunity for knows about a new culture, new places in Ecuador. That all the places that you talk about us is are very interesting.
Thank you. And Belinda, what do you think about this project? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed because we spent not a lot of time, but a really good amount of time, and it was really cool to talk with our partners. I don't know, with our pairs, and yeah, I really enjoyed.
Thank you. Estrella, would you like to say something?
Yes, thank you. I really like this experience. It helped me for learn and listen to different ideas and adapt and support others each opinions and how we can have a goal and be more patient, responsible, and have a better communication with people in other place. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Naomi?
I think this was a great way to share information about our countries and for us learn about more the Mexican culture. And I like it. I really loved doing this project with them.
Okay, and finally, Camila.
Yes, I like so much this project because I learn more about Cotopaxi and share the information from Cancun, and it's too cool. The project I love it talk with you, and that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, girls, and to our teachers for creating this amazing project for us. And I think we did it well. So I think that's all. Bye, girls.
Bye.
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 I'm going to stop recording.